Alright, a good day everybody. Kind of bright and early right now. I will be bringing updates throughout today. I'll probably have another one sometime around noon or mid-morning. And then of course, I'll have one later in the evening. Now, if things progress to get worse, I will have more updates than that on Tropical Storm Barry, which we are looking at now. Hi everybody, my name is Jewel, 4J7409 Weather. If it's your first time over here and you're into the weather, you want to know what's going on for real, straight shooter from the hip, give me a click. Subscribe, click that bell, make sure you get all the information. What you're looking at here, folks, I'm going to start, or I'm going to try to start to learn to go with my very first instincts. Because way back when this was in the very beginning, I said this looks like it's going to be a high-end tropical storm with some hurricane force winds in it. And that's what it's turning out to be. It's unreal, huh? Well, anyway, it's not got time to be a hurricane, people. It is an asymmetrical storm. Now, what that means, let me see if I can stop this at a proper place. And yeah, there's a good place. An eye cannot form right in here. There's too much wind shear and dry air going on, okay? It cannot form an eye. It's an asymmetrical storm. It's a tropical storm. Look at all the water in it. Now, just because I'm telling you this does not mean by any means that you should not keep preparing, because, like I've been saying all along, this is going to bring so much water to so many people. It's going to be unreal. It will be life-threatening water for some people, okay? So keep on doing what you're doing. We're going to check this out a little further, but I wanted to explain to you, and so you could actually see this for yourself. You can see an eye. There's no way that an eye can form. That sheer wind and the dry air that it's bringing in is not going to let it form an eye. Things could change. I mean, anything's possible. But it's just looking like an asymmetrical storm right now with no eye wall to build. It's too close to shore before the eye wall could build when it gets out of this environment that it's in. Now, we need to pay attention to a lot of different things as I'm letting this picture roll through. I'll change in just a moment. But don't concentrate so much on the track. Okay? Now, what we need to do is we got a general idea of the track. Now, that's going to maybe bounce around a little bit. I don't use all those fancy words like everybody else does. I just put it out in plain English the best way I know how from what I have learned mostly through my father over the years, who was a deep-sea fisherman who had to keep up with the weather or he would have died before he did. So, yes, I have had some schooling when it comes to the atmosphere and astronomy classes, but my dad was usually always right. So that's where I get my knowledge from. Anyway, Texas, yeah, you're going to get some rain bands, I should say. Shouldn't be as bad as what Louisiana and probably Mississippi, even Arkansas is going to get. So I'm going to get off of this particular map. We're going to go check something else out. And now, of course, I'm over on my European model, and this thing has proven through this particular system to be just about on the ball more than any of them. And now, I follow the GFS, the GFSE, all the WHR, I mean, you name it, I follow them all, okay? But this right here, so far as what it could contain and where it might go when it's all put together with the tracking models and everything else, right now, I should say, looks pretty on the ball. It could change. It all could change. But this is what it's looking like around 6 a.m. this morning. Look at all of that rain. And I'm not going to move in too close right now. I want to wait till it gets a little closer. Probably in about 24 hours, it should start to move some for us. There we go right there. This is around 8 o'clock tonight as it starts to move in and looking like the center's getting more closer here. Still hadn't reached land yet. It's going to do it some point tonight. And then it's going to be a long event for a lot of people. Look at all the rain already going on from Florida, Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina, over here in Mississippi up around Jackson. But let's keep on getting it here. We're going to go to Saturday morning, tomorrow morning, around 4 a.m. Now, around 4 a.m., I blowed this up just a little bit. You can see a little bit better here. You can see some of the stronger rain bands are beginning to come into Louisiana and get closer to the New Orleans area here. And some of that heavy rain won't be long far behind it once it gets to this area, when we move it on to around 2 p.m. tomorrow afternoon. Rain, rain, and more rain. Boy, these people, if you live right along this area here, you're going to be getting it all the way across. All the way across, you're going to get it. What about winds at this time? Let's check them out and see what they're looking like. Sustained winds are just on the coastline here for the highest sustained winds. That's 49 knots, folks. So that's going to be some real brisk sustained winds you're going to have to stand without any damage, and it might be kind of hard. These winds all along, I've said, were going to be tropical storm force winds with hurricane gusts, and that's what it's looking like it's going to turn out to be. Now, this is the gust at this time right now, up around New Orleans, maybe not too bad, 64 knots, so you know that's going to be getting close to hurricane strength winds up in this area right in here. So, we'll put it back on the rain. The rain's going to be the big deal once again, and we are going over to the National Hurricane Center. I just wanted to show you this to give you a general idea so I can blow it up and let you know where some of this heavy, heavy rain is looking like it's going to be. Look right in this area here. So much rain, folks. Let's blow it up so we can see if we can get some areas where you guys may be able to tell where if you live in these areas. We'll bring it back across now. Here we go. Baton Rouge areas. Look at there. Jackson. I can't hardly make that one out. I can't hardly see it. Here's Morgan City. I've been harping on Morgan City for a long time, thinking that a lot of this is going to go up this way. Look at this. You see this? There's Baton Rouge. Look at there. Look at all this rain right in here. Let's see what this is saying. Oh my goodness, in 3 hours you're going to get over 5 inches of rain. And folks, this is going to be a slow mover, a long duration. It's not just going to be over in a day. You may be getting rain next week. I mean, this thing's going to go on for a while. And a lot of folks are going to be getting rain for a while from this system, even after it just comes on down to a depression system. So let's bring this map down a little bit more. And this is at 11 a.m. tomorrow morning. Now, this is not written in stone, carved on a tin can or anything else. It could change, but this is what it's looking like to me right now. Now, I've been harping on Mississippi, too, for the last day or so. You see this heavy rains going up this way into Mississippi. If you live in these areas here, I know this is just awful for the Mississippi River and people who live in these areas. That's why I'm telling you, it may be a tropical storm, but that don't matter a flip happy, folks. This water's coming. Be thankful it's not going to be a big bad hurricane, because you're going to have enough water to deal with, and it could be life-threatening to some people. You need to keep that in mind. Make sure you prepare and have your plans ready. Okay, now this is around 9 p.m. on Sunday. We can see where all this water, and where it's red, that's a right good amount of rain. But when it turns white, you need to look out. You need to look out. This is Sunday at around 9 p.m. Let's check the winds. The wind should be died down a whole lot by now, and as you can see, the sustained winds these are the highest here. They're probably around 20 or 30, 24 knots right here. And let's see if it still has any gust that are higher in it. Well, it still does. Let's check these out. Highest should probably be right around, well, anywhere in these areas here. Let's see what the gusts are. 57 knots. So it's still got some pretty steep wind gusts in it by 9 p.m. Sunday night. So you need to be aware of that also. And I know this video is a little long, but if you want to know what's happening, you need to continue to watch as I make this go in time. Now, I'm going to zoom on up to around 11 a.m. Monday. Where will this thing be? Well, by then, it's going to be up into the western Tennessee area, and also just skimming Illinois here. You can see, but look, it's still got some pretty heavy rain in it, folks. It should be a depression system by now. Putting out over 1.5 inches of rain in 3 hours still by Monday. But back down to where we really need to concentrate on is Louisiana and Mississippi. You guys need to be on the outlook. Now, from the latest at the National Hurricane Center that came in this morning, this is the latest graphic that's up now with the latest information. Here we have Tropical Storm Barry. The wind now is 50 miles per hour in Barry. The pressure is still falling slowly but surely. This morning it is 1,000 millibars. If you're tracking it, 28.1 north, 90.2 west, and it's moving slow. That's why I keep telling you people, this is a slow mover. This is what makes it such bad news. Now, if it's moving west-northwest at 5, if it was a little further down out of the shear wind and the shear wind left, this thing would turn into a monster. But you can thank Jesus that we've got shear wind, dry air, and other conditions with pressures moving it to keep it at this level. This is what it looks like it's going to stay at. But if it got any bigger, I couldn't imagine the rain amounts that would be in it. It's going to be terrible as it is. So just keep in mind, it could be even worse than with the rain than what it's going to be, and it's going to be bad enough. Now, we got this little disturbance down here. It is still just a tropical wave this morning, and it's several hundred miles southwest of the Cabo Verde Islands. It's a little better organized now. Remember, guys, I told you I've been watching this. It's going to try to organize. It's going to try to, like, puff up, but it's not going to make, it's going to puff up for a little bit and then it's going to die back down. But anyway, I'll tell you what they're saying, okay? It has a little better organization during the past several hours. Some additional development of the wave is possible during the next day or two, while it is moving westward at around 10 to 15 miles per hour before environmental conditions become less favorable over the weekend. 20% through the next 5 days of forming. It will try to form, and everything that I have seen about this system, it tries to form more than once, and it gets knocked down more than once before it completely goes away. But for everybody over in the islands here in St. Lucia and all the island chain here, you probably will get some rain from this system as it goes by, but it's not going to be anything but like your regular afternoon thunderstorms and rain showers. That's it. Or that's what it should be. If it changes, I'll let you know. Where, oh where will Barry go? Barry's going right where I told you guys it looks like he's going to go, okay? And this is from the National Hurricane Center, and it looks like it's going to remain a tropical storm. And you go, well, hey, Jay, how come we got this hurricane warning down here? That's because it's going to have hurricane strength wind gusts in it when it does come ashore. And who knows, people? Something might happen and it might get that eye to form. But I doubt it. That's what I'm thinking. I'm not saying it's not out of the question. It could happen. But it just don't look like it's going to happen. Okay? That's why you have this hurricane warning right here across Louisiana, okay? You also have a hurricane watch in the same area, and you also have a tropical storm warning in the same area. And over on the borderline of a little bit of Alabama and Mississippi down in the south around the coast. There is a tropical storm watch for you guys, so you need to pay attention. And everybody, this cone is great, but you have to remember it can jog either way, go either way, and bounce around. Okay, I don't think Texas, except for like if you're in the Houston area, you could get some rain showers, you know. I think you might get a little rain, you might get a little wind, but nothing out of the ordinary. I think if you move up a little bit in Texas to the Beaumont area, I think you guys will get a little more rain and maybe possibly a little more wind, but nothing that you cannot handle from the storm at this time. This is a very important map. How much rain should fall and where should it fall when this comes in and makes landfall? 20 inches in Louisiana where it's a dark purple. You got 15 inches, 15 to 20 inches where it's lighter purple. Where it's dark, it's 20 inches or plus 20 inches. Where it's red when it starts to move up into Mississippi. This is 10 to 15 inches of rain. Everywhere that's orange, whether it be Louisiana or Mississippi or even parts of Tennessee, that's 6 to 10 inches of rain. And even over here in Alabama, and just a little bit possibility of the Florida Panhandle over here, you got a chance of 4 to 6 inches of rain. A rainmaker. Now, looking in Texas here, this proves my point I'm trying to make to you guys. Yes, you will get rain. You're going to pick up showers. Some of them may be a little intense at times from this system. It's going to be the outer rain bands of it. But the most rain that you should get, period, is maybe 2, possibly 3, might be 4 inches of rain. I'm not thinking it's even going to be that much right down around the coastline here in this area. Everybody else, you see what's coming. Please, I hope you are prepared. Please, please prepare. Now, before I get out of here this morning, I want to stress to everybody, click show more. I'm going to put information there about watches, warnings, and where they are at this time. You need to click show more. Read what is there. It will give you information that you need to go by, okay? And if any of my friends are in any of these areas, if you happen to catch any pictures of flooding water, of anything concerning the weather going on right now, please send them to me. When you click show more, you'll find an email address to send them to. The key messages for Barry as of right now: there is a danger of some life-threatening storm surge inundation along the coast of southern and southeastern Louisiana. There is a storm surge warning in effect. My best advice about the storm surge right now, with the strength of this storm, is to make sure you know when high tide is. It's not a hurricane, and it's not a big bad hurricane, but it is a very high-end tropical storm with hurricane force winds in it. So you need to know when high tide is in your area. That's going to make a big difference, and you're going to be able to prepare and get right if you're in those areas for a large portion of water to be rushing in your way. Now, the highest storm surge inundation is expected between Intercoastal City and Shell Beach, and residents in these areas should listen to any advice given by your local officials. Now, the slow movement of Barry will result in a long duration, heavy rainfall and flood threat, as I've told you, days along the central Gulf Coast and inland through the lower Mississippi Valley through the weekend into early next week. Flash flooding and river flooding will become increasingly likely, some which may be significant, especially along and east of the track of the system. Hurricane conditions are expected along the portion of the coast of Louisiana where a hurricane warning has been issued, and residents in these areas should rush their preparations to completion, as tropical storm conditions are expected to arrive in the warning area starting this morning. They're saying go ahead and rush them. Well, if you hadn't already got it done, it's too late, folks. I've been harping on this too, trying to tell you, I love you guys so much. I want you to be aware of stuff and to be ready. So I hope all my people are ready. So with all that said and done, I'll put a briefer update coming up sometime, probably midday or so, and then I'll have my evening update. And if anything changes for the better or for the worst, or anything that matters that changes, I'll be sure and get it out for you. Please subscribe and click that bell. Share this information on your social media and with your friends and family. It is coming, folks. You need to be ready. I love you. Have a good day, a safe day, and a blessed day. And peace, love, and kindness to each of you. Thank you so much for watching.